Hello and welcome, everyone. The mission for today will take me on a stroll around Ritterstein, on the lookout for a wild boar. Tressler 2 is going to be pretty straightforward. I'll simply need to travel to Ritterstein and harvest a boar. Ritterstein is in the western half of the Hirschfelden region. It's got a river running through the middle, some fields in the southern end, and woods throughout the rest. I have yet to explore much of this section of the map, so I plan to simply hike around the highlighted area, keeping an eye out for boars. I'll keep the need zone times in mind as I go, but since the mission isn't specific, I'll seize an opportunity when it comes along. Either a male or a female will count, as long as a lethal shot is delivered within the Ritterstein borders. Wild boars are a Class 5 animal, so I'll make sure I'm armed accordingly. Weapons like the .357 or the 7mm will do the job nicely, depending on the distance to the target when I take the shot. Of course, I'll also make sure to include the wild boar collar to lure one in close if necessary. It was 11 a.m. when I fast traveled over to the Ritterstein outpost. I wanted to open up the area, so I decided to walk the roads, keeping an eye on the map for points of interest and outposts, and, of course, watching for signs of wild boar. They sleep during the day, so I chose to stay in the woods as much as I could, and hoped to catch them napping in their rest zones. I found plenty of tracks and animals as I went, but it took a few minutes before I finally found some wild boar tracks along the side of the road. Next, I slowly pursued them into the brush, hoping to spot them somewhere up ahead of me. And I finally caught up to them as I followed their tracks around the edge of a small marshy pond. I was upwind and made too much noise in my approach, and bumped one out of his bed. I guessed he was around 115 meters away when he fled, so I marked it on the map. Then I slowly made my way in closer, hoping that maybe a few might still be in the zone. Sadly, I bumped them again, and they took off to the south. Resolving myself to be more cautious, I began a slow and careful pursuit through the woods after them. Eventually, the trail led me to the southern ag fields. Now I had good visibility ahead of me, so I kept a sharp eye out as I advanced further. And finally, I found them again, resting in the shade at the far edge of the field. The boars were understandably nervous, but napping in the shade. I took advantage of their sleepy demeanor and snuck up closer, looking for a clear shot. The group had several males, including a decent level 4, and one female. But since the word boar technically means male, I wanted to make sure that a female sow would work for the mission too. So I decided to go for the female first, then hoped maybe I could get a second shot off at the level 4 immediately afterwards. Once I had a good line of sight, I took the shot. But the break-action rifle did me dirty again, and sadly the level 4 struck off into the brush during the reload. And like Forrest Gump with a brand new pair of shoes, he kept on running, disappearing further into the woods without presenting a shot. At least my first shot connected, so I made my way over to the sow to claim my harvest. She is a dark brown female, scoring silver at 38.19 and weighing 83 kilograms. My single shot from the 7mm caught her low and in the right lung as she was laying down at 93 meters. After accepting the harvest, I discovered that yes, a sow will indeed complete the mission. Well, Forrest made his getaway without catching a bullet in the butt cheek on this one. But now I know where to find him, so I suspect I'll be back for him again later. Ultimately, there wasn't a lot to this one, but it did teach me to be more mindful of my stalks in the future while hunting wild boar. If you found this video helpful, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content. I'll be putting those skills to the test for Tressler 3, as I search for more around the edges of Bondorf Lake. Thanks for watching.